Shalom, 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 shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect scattered abroad that's out here doing this work in truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Bach from Prophet Babylon Camp. Coming at you with a quick sit down to the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. This is Ezekiel chapter 37. Start at verse 4. It says, "Again he said unto me, prophesy unto these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai." Man, you know, we out here prophesying, man. You know, brothers on social medias, man, on the highways and hedges, you know, prophesying, you know, to our people. You know, they have these dry bones. They have yet to open their spiritual ears, man. It says, I'm gonna bring it back. It says, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Thus said the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. You know, which are these these words of life, man. You know, these spiritual words, man. You know, that Rakakwadash. You know, and the Lord has the power, you know, to wake up our people, man. You know, we don't do anything, man. We do the Lord's work, what's asked of us, man. And everything else works itself out, you know. I'm going to go to skip to verse 9. It says, "Then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind." Prophesy, you know, brothers at camp, man. You know, sometimes people don't even come by, you know, or even hear what we gotta say, man. You know, but this word must go out. This truth must go out, man. You know, whether we don't care who's around, you know. We're going to keep on doing our videos, you know, posting on social medias. You know, this word must go out, man. It says, "Son of man, say to the wind, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slains that they may live," man. You know, that's what we're going to constantly do, man. Constantly speak this truth, you know, to our people, man. And you other nations too, you know, you gonna hear your judgment too, man. You know, but we out here for our people, man, the elect of our people. You know, we want our people to live, man. You know, we know 2/3, you know, gonna eventually perish, man. But we want our people to thrive, man. You know, and they will in the kingdom. We go to the book of 2 Peter. 2 Peter chapter 1. It's 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 21. It says, "For the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man, but holy men of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai spake as they were moved by the Hamashiach," man. You know, and that's what we doing now. We speaking the Lord's word, man. You know, the Lord gave us, you know, this truth, man. So we must speak it. We must preach it. You know, just like the old times, man. You know, we back again, doing the same will of the Lord, man. We'll go to the book of Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 14. This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 3. It says, "And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, from thy fear, from thy hard bondage, wherein thou wast made to serve," man. You know, and it's coming soon, man. We not truly out of this hell yet, man. You know, and it says it shall come to pass. It ain't came yet, man. You know, we not out of the clear yet, man. You know, this devil is starting to come down with a great wrath. You know, we slaving every day at these jobs. So on and so forth. So on and so forth, man. You know, but it's gonna come a day, you know, when we gonna have that rest. Brothers gonna be able to actually have time, you know, to spend around each other. You know, that's coming in those later days, man. Lord willing, you know, we be in that kingdom next year, man. You know. Yeah, how rock is I? It's like turn my phone on silent. Yeah, but back to the point, man. It says, bring it back. It says, from thy fear and from thy heart bondage, wherein thou wast made to serve, you know. And that's how everything got here today, man. You know, they got free labor out of Jake, you know. They got that thing, you know, that's called old money. Old money, you know. These damn crackers still making it off that old money. They got free labor, man. You know. But I'm gonna go to the book of Acts. Acts chapter 2. This is Acts chapter 2, verse 17. It says, and it shall come to pass in the last days, say Yahweh Shem Yahushai, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. You know, brothers been having visions all the time, man. You know, they constantly talk about it in the chat, man. It's beautiful dreams, man, that you can tell that actually might happen, man. You know, and it says your sons and daughters shall prophesy, man. You got men of the Lord prophesying on these highways and hedges, prophesying, man. You know. And it says your old men shall dream dreams. You know, our elders and apostles, man. The dreams that they say they have, man, are beautiful. You know, you have to go to some of those elders' pages, man. You know, where they talk about the dreams that they have in the kingdom. You know, it's gonna be beautiful in the kingdom, man. You know, that's why we gotta keep prophesying, man. You know, keep hitting these highways and hedges, spreading the word of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You know, roughly paraphrasing, you know. Actually, I'm gonna grab it. When it's come on, this is Matthew chapter 24. This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 31. It says, and he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to another. Salakia, that's the wrong one. Salakia. It's Matthew 24, but it's not. It's like it's wrong verse. Colin, this is Matthew chapter 24, verse 14. Salakia. It says, and the gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. You know, when this gospel, this good news, you know, is preached to all throughout the world, then the end shall come, man. You know, and we pray that sooner than later, man. You know, but you know that's all on this lesson. I pray that the hopeful elect was edified. Until next video. Shalom.